I'm retired and I live a pretty simple life. I retired in June 2024 with a little under $500,000 in my portfolio. I'm debt-free and I live frugally. To me, being retired and living frugally is way better than having more money. Being frugal doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your quality of life. It just means finding smart ways to stretch your dollars. I really wanted to work until I was 59 and a half. That was my plan for a long time, but I just couldn't make it. I couldn't do it. So I decided if I was gonna retire at 58 and a half, I would really work hard on spending less, especially in the first year, to make up for it. It was so much easier than I thought it would be. It's almost like a game. How much can I save? I try to make it into a game to see how far under budget I can come. Cutting back to simpler living has actually turned out to be an unexpected blessing for me. Things of value don't require money at all. I'm in love with simple living now. Embracing minimalism can lead to huge savings in the long run. By focusing on buying only what you truly need, you can reduce clutter and save money in the long run. I've always loved thrifting and I'm very resourceful. Financial planning doesn't end in retirement, but I enjoy spending time managing my money. In retirement, finding creative ways to save money is more important than ever. I thought I'd share the expenses hacks I've figured out over the years and in retirement. 3 of the largest expenses for retirees are housing, healthcare, and food. Healthcare is a big expense. I've talked about this in several videos. If you plan carefully, you can still qualify for ACA health insurance even with the new changes. They use your modified adjusted gross income to determine eligibility. As a single person, I would need to have a minimum income of $15,060. It also needs to be under $62,600. I paid $700 a month for COBRA insurance for the first 4 months I was retired, which I thought was outrageous. But I planned carefully for my 2025 health insurance, and it was worth it. I got my taxable income right in that range to get the ACA subsidies. Now, with the One Big Beautiful Bill, there will be higher premiums and reduced coverage. This will make it a little harder, but not impossible. I have a video about this that I'll link below. From what I understand, most people will still be eligible for some financial assistance with ACA. Those who earn more than 400% of the federal poverty level would have to pay full price. But very few people using ACA insurance have incomes above 400% of the poverty level. I certainly don't. My personal backup plan has always been going with a health share plan if ACA ends up costing me more than $300 or $400 a month. A health share plan would be around $300 a month for 5 years until I can get Medicare. Christian Health Ministries and Zion Health Share are the 2 that I've heard the best things about. But I'm sure there's others too. I also exercise a lot and eat healthy at home. Preventative measures are huge. They're way cheaper than healthcare. Housing is also a big expense. I'm lucky to have bought my house in 2016 when prices were still decent. I worked really hard to get my mortgage paid off before I retired, but I do still have to pay taxes and insurance. I've mentioned this before, but depending on what state you live in, somewhere between the ages of 61 and 65, you may qualify for a property tax exemption. This exemption is often referred to as a homestead exemption for seniors or a senior freeze. You'll hear people say they froze their property taxes. Every state has different exemption programs. These programs usually reduce your future property taxes, but unfortunately they don't end them. The exact amount of the tax break will vary by your income level. These programs are often geared toward low-income seniors, so just like with the ACA subsidies, if you're careful with your planning, you may be able to qualify for a tax exemption. I currently pay $2,900 a year in property taxes on my small 1,400 square foot house. I know in other states it's even more than here in Washington. Property taxes are just outrageous, but when I turn 61 at my frugal income level, I should be able to freeze my property taxes. Food is another big expense. I eat healthy and produce and other healthy foods are expensive. Food is just expensive. I'm getting more creative with my meals. I do meal prepping and that saves time and money. Cooking at home with whole foods is so much better for you. I love that I finally have time to do this now that I'm retired, and I actually enjoy doing it. Not to mention how much money it saves. I did not enjoy cooking when I was working full-time. I also have a garden to grow at least some of my food. Farm to table. Homegrown really does taste better. I have a video about this that I'll link below. I also started using the Fetch app, and I hope that helps a little. The Fetch app is a free rewards program where you can earn points by scanning receipts from stores. Then you can redeem those points for cash or gift cards. Life is expensive, so here's a few more hacks that could help. Laundry detergent, you only need to use half of what's recommended, not how much it says on the bottle. The other thing I learned recently is you can tear your dryer sheets in half and it works just as well. If you haven't already, cut basic cable. I stopped cable and switched to streaming. I just pay for a couple of channels and I have several free channels. Another thing I started doing is switching the streaming channels that I pay for. I'll pay for Netflix for a few months and then cancel and get Paramount for a few months. I rotate. You can watch some shows and then take a break, and plenty of new shows will come out while you're on that break that you can watch when you come back. It works really well. I've even gotten emails from them saying, "We want you back," and offering a good rate. Find inexpensive hobbies and free entertainment. My favorite hobbies are gardening, reading, and things like that. A viewer told me about the Libby app. It's a free digital library app. You get access to ebooks, audiobooks, and magazines for free from your local library. You can stream titles or download them for offline reading. All you need is a library card. There are also tons of free activities that are really fun. Look for community events, free museum days, and concerts in your area. Enjoying outdoor activities like biking, hiking, or picnicking is also a great way to have fun without spending too much money. So make a budget and categorize everything. Make a financial spreadsheet and look at it every month. Do this for a whole year if possible. Calculate everything to the per year cost. This makes you much more aware of how those small expenses add up. If you're spending too much, you might find things that aren't worth it. I use this budget spreadsheet that I've shared several times. But if spreadsheets aren't your thing, I've heard the You Need a Budget app is pretty good. They have a free trial. Do an audit of your bills. Check your cell phone plan. See if switching plans can save you money, or even switching carriers. Compare rates for your auto and home insurance. I shop around every couple years. I've switched companies a few times over the years. You can use a comparison tool like NerdWallet to compare your options. Before you spend, get in the habit of asking yourself if this purchase will increase your well-being or if it's an impulse buy. Hack every single expense, especially focus on recurring expenses. Every $1,000 a year you can save is $30,000 over 30 years plus reinvestment income. I found this cool website called Grants for Seniors. You click on your state and it will show you the grants or assistance programs they have in your state. It's really helpful. I'll put the link in the description. So I clicked on Washington State. It shows all of these state assistance programs with links you can click on. It's worth taking a look at your state to see if there's something you didn't know about. If you want to share other expense hacks, feel free to leave a comment. I love learning new hacks, and I know others do too. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Julie and this channel's Happy on Monday. Thanks for joining me. If you found this helpful, please like. And if you're interested in retiring early, consider subscribing. I'm going to leave you with a quote. Be happy with what you have. There are some people with nothing who still manage to smile. Hope to see you again soon.